something new has crept into your life. Every time I try to change the word new to old, it keeps wanting me to use new. In the sense that, number one, you didn't expect it. Number two, it's an old thing with a new feeling. Okay, yeah, that's it. And you are prepared for it in the sense that you have all of the equipment. That's the word that they've asked me to use. You have all the skills. You have the confidence. They're giving me these words. And you have the time. But you're annoyed. You're annoyed because you have held for a long time a whole lot of ideas around what this would all mean. It's as if you spent a long time sort of trying to convince yourself that you don't want this thing, this person, or this detail. It's like, it feels like a way of doing something. It feels like you've built a mindset around what it means to have something like this in your life. This kind of person in your life, this kind of thing in your life. The way it's not clarifying what it is that we're talking about feels like really this could apply to a range of things. It's an energy. It is an energy that, if introduced into your life, will change a number of things. Okay? It also asks for you to look at yourself differently. It is something you once really, really wanted. But when I say you kind of thought about it for a long time and changed how you see it, you kind of weaved around a new understanding to be able to cope with not having this thing. That's what it is. And so, in a sense, you changed your mind about it, and now it seems to have crept back into your life. And now it's here. Okay, you're sitting with this thing, or you're sitting considering this thing, and partly you're starting to question, what does this all mean? But you don't really have the time and space to overthink it. This is delivering in an interesting way. So now you're confronted with this thing being here. It's sort of entered through the heart, is what I want to say to you. It's not something that's being it's not imposing. It's imposing, yes, on your consciousness, but it's not imposing on your life physically. And so you don't have to do this thing, but it's there. And you're kind of asking yourself, why are you here? And you sort of like, it's funny, but it's not funny because it's annoying you through forcing you to confront all of these things that you decided about it. Okay? And it's really showing up as a sign of your growth. This old thing showing up with a new feeling is kind of here to show you how things change, how things feel different and land differently once you've changed. Okay? And so something that didn't feel like an option before this, something that didn't feel like it made sense, now fits. And now, so all the things you've decided about it, you're seeing how lifeless these ideas and mindsets are. By lifeless, I mean you've got to feed them. You've got to keep them alive. Without your breath, without your action, without your energy, they have no life. Okay, but this thing is actually asking you to bring it to life, is what I'm going to say to you, because it feels like it's hovering. It feels like it's really interested in you, okay? It feels like one of those things that starts to shift around you because you are ready. And so before you weren't ready, and I'm so sorry about all of these things you had to make up in your mind to cope with not having it. But now it's here. I want to say that intuitively, okay, this thing kind of just fell on your lap into your consciousness. Let's put it like that, into your life. It kind of just arrived unannounced, and it's captured your attention. Okay, so now your attention is on it, which is why we can't just shift it to the side. Also because it's come through your heart, and so it's just not you anymore to block it out of your mind, this kind of thing. Because if it's crept up through your heart, it's made it past your solar plexus, which means you're able to meet it. There seems to be some kind of balance in terms of how you're receiving it. Okay. And I'm seeing your mind's response being more around, but, how am I going to make it look? Like, what am I going to, you're thinking about all these technicalities. So you are lingering in limbo, between your old mindset, realizing that it has no life anymore. The sort of arrival of this thing that you seem to have a non-attachment towards, but recognizing that it seems to be sort of like the word chariot is coming up, like the chariot, the carriage that has arrived to take you to the place that you want to go. You're irritated that this chariot has not come in the form of like a more ordinary vehicle. Let's put it this way. Like a chariot is like an old sort of idea of how people move around. Successful people, how they move around. I don't know. This is coming through so weird. It's unconventional to see a chariot in this day and age, is what I'd like to say. And so you had in mind a more conventional sort of route of getting to this place, or for this person or thing to come into your life in a more conventional way. But it hasn't. It's ready. You understand all of the things around what it means for this thing to actually show up in this way and for it to feel this way. You know what it means. It means we're ready to go. It means we're ready to go. Okay. And you had all these elaborate ideas around what you would have needed, if this day ever arrived. But you're realizing that it's actually never been about all that stuff. It's never been about all that stuff. It was just asking you for that non-attachment and for you to stop obsessing about it and stop embellishing it with all of these unnecessary things that you have deemed necessary to be able to learn how to cope without it. It's like you convinced yourself out of wanting something because you weren't getting it. And now you've learned how to cope without it. And now it's here. While you've just kind of found yourself, it feels like. And now the realization of all of this is feeling like a burden on your mind, because you have the opportunity to actually give your heart what it wants. Okay, so now everything has fallen into place. You have the opportunity of giving yourself what you want and what you've desired for a long time and maybe just not recently. And this is creating a sense of burden on you because the choice is so simple. The idea is so simple, not complicated. It is here. Now, if you're honest with yourself, given many of the things that have been coming up of late, it feels like this thing is only by the day getting clearer and clearer and clearer, by the minute, by the hour. It's just gaining clarity. And it's also coming through with communication that seems like it's going to solve a lot of your hassles, okay? There are a number of discomforts, disruptions, and hassles that have come up of late where they could have annoyed you, but you kind of did not respond to them with long drawn out annoyance. Let's put it this way. You kind of were accepting of some of these things, these disruptions, and you were like, okay, well, let me see how I can work with this. And every time you try work with it, things get better. So it's almost like this thing has been creeping up on you without you realizing that this is what it is. It's been making all of these shifts and changes in your life, and it's added itself as the last point. Like, okay, now that everything else is cleared up, now that we know what you don't need, what you've not needed for a long time, but you were just doing it because, you were doing it. And now that you're sort of at this level of peace and confidence that we just needed you to get to, well, here it is. One of the blocks I see for you is as you contemplate the fact that this thing is very clear, it's very here, okay? As you think about this, you keep going back to these ideas of what does it mean for a thing to be successful? Is it the speed at which it moves? Let's think of this as the vehicle. Is it the speed at which it moves? Is it what other people think it should look like, and it being like that? Is that like what makes it successful? The word success is almost like a word that we can use to sort of paint an idea around something where it's achieved what it's meant to achieve. So I'm not talking about success at all in terms of like money and all of that thing. I'm talking about just the pure idea of success. When you've put your effort into something, or an effort has been made, and you achieve whatever goal you set out to achieve. And so, is it the speed that this has happened at? Is it, again, what other people think of this? Or is it quite simply how easy it is for you, how much ease you feel within it? And also that it makes you happy, it makes your heart feel warm. Because, I hate to say this. I do love to say it. I love and hate to say this, which feels like kind of like the energy of this thing in your life, But you have been wanting this thing, is what I'm here to tell you. You have wanted this thing so badly. That's why you had to, work with your mind to find reasons as to how you can convince yourself that you can live without it. It's like that. Okay? And I want to say that a lot of these embellishments that you've imposed on it, give that stuff time. Okay? Just stop it with that stuff. Because to actually sort of wait for that stuff is going to frustrate you, delay you, and cause the kinds of disruptions you do not want. They're wanting you to allow this thing to just happen organically the way it has arrived, and to continue to nurture the way you've learned to nurture. Be yourself is what they're saying. They're not saying be anything else but yourself. They're just saying stop struggling against this thing that you want to do. Okay? It's receptive. So you need to be receptive. When they say it's receptive, they're saying it's not forcing its way in. It's already in. It's not really an intruder because it's come into your life. It already knew which sort of barriers to work with around you to allow itself in. Okay. And so the fact that also these barriers went down easily means you didn't really need them because you're not compromised. it's also not here to compromise you. It's actually here, and this message is coming through extremely clearly. It's here to grow you, to help you, okay? And to improve you. And most importantly, it's here to love you, okay? It's here to love you. I'm going to tell you again, it's really interested in you, okay? It's really interested in you, and it seems to have a very clear direction about how it's going to get you to where you want to go. Okay? And so this sense of self-preservation that you have about you, please remember that you need to be receptive in order for you to get the things that you want out of your effort and your life and where your heart wants to take you. Your heart is already taking you there. I'm here actually not to tell you about anything you don't know. I see it. I'm here to bring something that is sitting very much just below your conscious, in your subconscious. And I'm here to speed up the process between acting like this thing is not happening and it happening. And they're saying to ask yourself, this thing is here to heal you. This thing is here to help you. This thing is here to improve you and to love you. Okay? So they're saying like, just, do you want those things? And then I hear you responding, yes. This is a funny reading. I see you moving towards this thing, nurturing it, moving towards it, mentally kicking and screaming. What I mean by that is like rolling your eyes. Oh, seriously, like it's as if it's showing up in my vision like a knight in shining armor arrived at your door 10 months after they were due, okay? But they've showed you pictures of where you're going and they're like, are you coming or not? And then you start thinking about, what am I going to wear? Do I have enough time? All of that stuff. And they're like, yeah, well, we just eradicated time as a factor. Here's your outfit. You absolutely love the outfit. And you're just like, oh. And do you really need some of the other stuff you're starting to think about since, everything you need is, here in my chariot. And you kind of just irritated because what you want to talk about is what took you so long. But you feel silly because this is actually just a conversation between you and you. And they are really telling me that all of these embellishments that you're thinking about, they're saying that with time, those embellishments, if they are required, if they are necessary, will show up. You will have the resources for them as they are needed, because this is the kind of thing that it's creating itself. Okay. It's manifested, which means that these aspects of it were manifested, and therefore other material aspects that you have told yourself you need, if those things are required, they will manifest too. And so don't worry about that stuff, because look back at your story. Everything you need, truly need, arrives when it's due or before it's due or when you need it. It doesn't arrive not a minute, not a day or year earlier, because it's more likely to derail you and distract you if it comes too early. And so they're saying that's a big message for you. They're saying that's a major message for you. They're saying that this message is to bring you peace, a sense of peace around delays, because you still have a mindset around delays being your fault, in the sense that there's something you can do to reduce the delay. So you move into like this zone of trying to control things and obsess when actually it's your attachment to stuff that causes delays. And so they're saying to give you peace, because peace helps with non-attachment. Just relax. Use what you've got. It is actually what is, that's what has pulled this opportunity in, is you the way you are. Not you in a different version. It's you the way you are. And so mostly the biggest thing here is actually to accept that you have up-leveled. It is to also come forward with this sense of acceptance, is the word they're using, around who you were before. So they're saying, don't clutter your mind and your thoughts clear your heart around ideas where you might start telling yourself you were not ready before. There's something that they don't want you to do that thing. They don't want you to say you were not ready before, okay? They're actually saying you were always ready. They just needed you to get distracted so that they could break your barriers down and get through. Oh my goodness. I'm literally blushing for you because this is that really silly feeling where you are moving forward with something, putting your effort into it, and just, what was that ad? The chocolate ad? Was it a Crunchy? I don't know if it's Cadbury's or Nestle or whatever, where it's like one bite and all resistance crumbles. They're also really emphasizing this idea that this is going to be easy for you. It used to feel like it was going to be hard for you. And they're saying it's going to be easy for you. You have all the ABCs. They're actually showing me like ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, which is very interesting because Michael Jackson has been coming into my energy so frequently lately. Not even all the times I mention it in the container. And the way that his messaging is coming through right now is as if you don't realize how special you are. You realize it, but you don't. You realize it, but you discount yourself. You discount yourself because you're afraid that the world won't be receptive to you the way they will be. You struggle with accepting what a star you are. They're really saying that, and they're coming through with like such a tenderness to say you don't actually have to see yourself that way. You don't have to see yourself as a star. They want you to feel it, and they want you to just do what comes so easily to you. And the reason I thought of Michael Jackson was that ABC, and it's that inner child that's not so afraid of all the adults and what they'll think and the parents' voice and all of that and the opinions, because they're saying that the star lives inside of you. And they just want you to open your heart to yourself now. See yourself the way you see others. Okay? They're saying that you're going to be moving forward with this thing. You're a natural leader. You don't really know where you're going, but you have a sort of like it feels like a certificate or a stamp of approval, or like you've got all the things that say you can do this thing. You've got all of that. And so they want you to relax, and they want you to receive. I'm going to leave this here. I think for me in this particular channeling, the thing that has struck me the most is the message around you were not ready before. To stop thinking in that way, as if the former you did not deserve this. And they're saying it's really all created in an instant. In the instant where you have opened enough things up within yourself and tried a number of things in different ways, that you actually open all of these doors for yourself. And so opportunities are able to find their way in because you aren't barricaded. And so if anyone is listening where this reading doesn't feel like yours now, these are the messages around, which apply to anyone. These are the messages around how we block ourselves from growth and new opportunities. This feeling of not being ready, telling ourselves things, making up reasons in our minds that end up actually acting as our own enemies than as the real sense of safety that we're after. Should you wish to support the channel and can, there are details in the description box below on how. I love you all so much. Super proud of you. And again, if this is not particularly your message now, I am seriously still proud of you for listening through. Sending you all so much love.